own side as Doinby to opt into team fights or just wave clear super effectively for you.
The split push Renekton was what gave WE their success earlier on today. Maybe Gimgoon can replicate that success here in the final matchup of the split. It's FPX versus Top. Oh, I'd say stronger Gyos there for FunPlus than there was for Top Esports, but I don't know. You guys tell me in Twitch chat. It's time to jump into this one, though. It's time for game number 2, and I'm expecting FPX to come into this one with all guns blazing. They haven't been 2-0'd in a best of 3 since 2019, and I don't think they want to change that in the final game of the round robin.
So in this series, in this game, we talked about Tien setting up for Gimgoon. I think we're going to see Crisp trying to set up for Doinby as well. When you've got a Braum in this bottom lane, and oftentimes why we see this Rakan picked up, is because it allows you to escape from the lane and have massive impact towards that mid lane. The problem though is, it's Knight on the Syndra into Doinby's Azir. Knight is in control of this lane, and even opting for the phase rush, so he's got a little bit more speed up when it comes to team fights, or even potentially avoiding these ganks coming in from Tian and Chris. We'll have to see how well he can do that though.
Knight on the Syndra in this mid lane. We keep on talking about the mid lane matchup, but it's because it's Knight versus Doinby, right? You've got two of the most prolific mid laners in the entire LPL going head to head. And this Syndra, certainly in the earlier portions of the game, once you hit that level 6, can really impact things, can really change the face of fights.
So FPX not opting to give a leash towards Tian here will mean they can push the wave first, start to put pressure onto Jackie Love, and already begin working on these turrets in the bottom lane. Means Tian will be a little bit slow getting towards this top side of the map and helping out Gimgoon, which is why I would believe we're going to see Gimgoon take it slow and let this wave push in towards him. But it's Gimgoon.
Yeah, he's not taking it that slow. He wants the 1v1 with 369 right now, but it's going to be traded, and actually 369 wins that one out.
So this is Gimgoon, yes, taking a bad trade to begin with, but the difference here is that once Gimgoon gets to level 2, level 3, he'll start to heal up this health disadvantage, and that's why you can see 369 has opted for the inspiration tree here, getting the biscuits early. So when these early aggressive trades come in where Gimgoon's looking to heal up off him, 369 can also do the same.
He can match the sustain, especially with that Doran shield as well, having plenty of regen to work with. Tian moving up towards the top side though here.
Karsa's already got here though. We talked about the faster clear thanks to the leash. So now Karsa's in a position to help 369 on this play.
Colonel's all over the place on this one. But we've got a 2v2 in this top lane. Tian comes in, but Karsa's already there. Gets the knock-up onto Gimgoon. 369 forced away. Karsa now 2v1, but the teleport from Knight. He comes on in. Is he going to flash straight? Gets the slow. Tian low. Gets up on the rappel. Finds his way onto Knight, but he will fall. First blood for the Syndra.
In game number 1, oh hang on, bottom lane, no we're good. Game number 1 we saw Doinby bait out the teleport from Knight before they went for this sort of play. In game number 2, Knight has the teleport to join, and a great read from Karsa shuts down that play from Tian and Gimgoon.
And no way that Doinby can really respond with anything in the mid lane. It's too early to get yourself a play.
And 369 is making sure Doinby can't do that. TPing towards the mid, he'll push this wave out, then move back up towards the top side as Gimgoon shoves that wave in. Top Esports reading FPX perfectly.
Crisp going in onto Jackie Love here. The double up obviously can't go through because Yu Yanjia is there with his Unbreakable. But I love the pressure that we're seeing coming out from FPX's bottom lane here, even though the rest of the map is coming under a lot of fire of its own. And
feeds back into Tian opting for the solo start when he comes to his jungle. LWX and Crisp get the push. You're able to poke as this misfortune on the Aphelios underneath the tower, and Braum can do very little in that situation.
Gimgoon already feels like he's falling behind here, because bear in mind 369, so long as he's not under too much pressure, can just sit up in that top lane all day long. He never has to recall. Gimgoon, look at the damage. Flash still available for Gimgoon, but the fact that I have to say that in Ornn versus Renekton is just nuts.
Bubu, is that you? Have you come back to the LPL? Gimgoon, you need to take this a little bit easier. Now, hasn't had his first back, so I know we're kind of memeing a bit, but still, he'll be fine. Going to be able to TP back to lane. I was just looking to shove in that wave, but 369 now is a good freeze off and should be okay now to just keep this wave here and stop Gimgoon from being able to aggress too much. Still have to be careful of the dive that Tian and Gimgoon can use though, but diving in Orin can still be dangerous.
A little bit of an XP advantage in the mid lane for Doomby. He hit the level 5 mark a bit quicker than Knight did because of the roam earlier on. But Knight will be able to keep relatively close to that one. And most importantly, he has a bigger level 6 power spike. Karsa going to start off this Infernal Drake though, and Knight with the push in the mid lane can move on over.
That's the big factor here, is Knight having control of that mid. So even when the bot lane isn't quite going in their favor, Knight can turn that around entirely, and already top starting things off with a good dragon.
And we're seeing a completely different start to the game than what we saw in game number 1 of the series. It was FPX in complete control when it came to macro, when it came to the early plays. This time around, top of the ones with their foot on the accelerator, and an Infernal Drake is a nice little reward.
You can see Crisp though starting to make these moves. This is what we talked about when Yuanji is on this Braum and Jackie Love with this Velios, not able to aggress as easy as you would like onto LWX, so Crisp free to make these moves. And look at Knight, instantly respecting this, walking right the way back from the turret.
He knows that something was going on there. He could smell her out. And that's the thing. When you're playing against a team like FPX, you know they're always going to be trying to make plays. You can never just count them out of a situation.
369 and Knight will both be playing this very carefully. Tian at any point in time can go for these dives. It's the beauty of this Elise. Now, I'll be surprised to see him go for this mid lane play when it's just Doinby there. So as long as Crisp is showing in the bottom lane, Knight can continue to play aggressive. But when you start to see Crisp disappear into the shadows, that's when Knight will need to be careful and need the help of Karsa, just in case anything weird, wacky, or wonderful happens in that mid lane.
There's plenty of wonderful stuff that's going to be happening across the course of this game. That I can assure you of. Doomby has hit level 7 now, so he obviously has that Emperor's Divide available. No Dragon though, but with Rift Herald spawning in 1 minute's time, this could be where those ultimates come into play.
Unfortunately for Jackie Love, he's going to need to keep Yuanji holding his hand in this bottom lane. If Yuanji is the first to leave and go towards this Rift Herald, it makes it too easy for LWX and Crisp to dive him or slow him into this knock-up from Crisp and kill Jackie Love. So now it's on Crisp to start getting these roams nice and early, and that's already what we can see him do. Setting down the vision control, trying to looks like maybe set up for Doinby to make a play in this bottom side and get full control in this bottom lane, so it's Crisp who can move first, with Yuanji lagging behind us.
Doomby actually going to be just about soloing out this blue buff here. Does have the Corrupting Potion, so he can recover that HP before he moves back to the mid lane. Look at where Knight is right now, though. Maybe looking to make a play towards the top side.
Trying to see if he can spot out where Tian is. Maybe looking for the Rift Herald in that river, but it's already been taken, so won't be able to spot out this Elise. Now, though, again, we talked about it, Crisp making the move up the river. Yuanji is now backing with Jackie Love. They got the push in, which was the important part for Jackie Love, because now both the bottom laners of top can move towards this Rift Herald and make the play, whereas LWX will push in this bottom wave. Jackie Love, yes, you'll lose one wave, but securing the Rift Herald could mean so much more.
Especially with the plate still very much in play at this point. Karsa moves on in with the sweep, it can clear away the vision. Obviously, there is going to be vision there from the Scuttle Crab, but realistically, there's not much of a response available from FPX. Although I say that, LWX and Crisp are both moving over.
It's nice at top to put it smack bang in the middle of this Scuttle Crab as well, so FPX know exactly how much help this has.
This could just be a 5v5 right here. Doomby, oh, scatter the weak. No Emperor's Divide for you. It is going to be FPX that get the Herald, though. And Karsa having to be healed as he makes his way out. 369 trying to commit to the fight. Jackie Love steps on forward, frontlining on the Aphelios. But they can't close the gap. They can't get onto anyone. FPX stole away the Herald there.
They managed to just about get Tian in to get the execute damage into a smite, so Karsa unfortunately wasn't able to match. And that's fantastic for FPX, but...
Oh, Jackie Love's in trouble here, but Yuanji able to protect him. The rest of the team on the way. Bullet time comes down. Bear in mind, Crisp has that Herald. Here we go, though. 369 and Karsa off to the side. And it is going to deter this play onto the top side.
Knight is trying to move down to the bottom side to get some turret plates for themselves, though. And FPX are really happy they stole that, because when you look towards how their composition is trying to run, let this Azir scale up, they weren't able to actually fight at that. That's why the second that Elise stole the Rift Herald, they just ran the hell away. So FPX stealing that objective away will mean that they can get gold, but most importantly stop top esports from snowballing with the advantages JackeyLove and Knight have right now.
Yeah, a lot of CS denied in that bottom side as well. Gimgoon will arrive just a little late. He'll grab some of that for himself. But the question will be now, what does FPX do with this Herald? How do they get themselves a bit more gold and close the 1k gap that Top have opened up?
So you will imagine that Top are going to be trying to aggress towards this next dragon, right? So as FPX, let it go. You have Tian, who's already playing up towards this top side. Move him in full swing up with LWX and Crisp. Support them with Crisp having this Rift Herald available. Crack open this top lane turret while the rest of Top are occupied trying to take this dragon.
369 is going to be here, though, to make sure that they can't pressure too much. Double knockup from 369. He's going to be tanky enough that he's happy to just soak that damage. There's a Catalyst of Aeons there.
Doinby's moving with Tian here, so even that Catalyst of Aeons, though it's nice, won't be able to help him out here. And this is the play we're talking about with attention from Top towards the bottom side of the map. They'll be able to crack open the first tower for FPX.
They did drop the Herald very early on, though, and it is going to mean that actually, I'm not even sure if they can quite finish that one. JackeyLove, in the meantime, he's playing Aphelios, so he'll be able to get through these plates himself very, very quickly. LWX is about to run out of minions, but another wave is here, so we'll get it. Karsa gets the Cloud Drake for himself in the meantime.
FPX opting to put this gold onto LWX is them realizing we need some punch power for when we hit this mid game. JackeyLove is already working up towards what I imagine will be that Essence Reaver, although we will have to see with backs. He'll still go for that Infinity Edge build if he would like to do so. But still, this is where I want to see LWX getting these gold, getting the items into his place, so then Knight and JackeyLove's power spikes, which hit sooner than Doinby's, can still be accounted for with just the raw damage from LWX.
Crisp moving towards the bottom side here. JackeyLove has his flash available if Crisp tries to make that play, but bear in mind, quickness with the Grand Entrance means that no flash would be available. Teleport here from 369. Call of the Forge God. They've got to collapse down onto this whole squad. Tian jumps away though. Crisp the target. Unleash power and a Scatter the Weak means 1 kill for Top here.
And now they can run towards mid. Everyone from FPX is down towards this bottom side, so you can have Knight push in that mid lane, get some turret plates for himself. No pressure on the top side because Gimgoon's got a long way to go before he hits that tier 2. So great call from Top Esports, using that long lane in the top lane to their advantage.
And once again in this mid lane matchup, it's Knight that's coming out ahead. We saw it. Even though they were behind in game 1, it was Knight that managed to pull that lead back for Top. This time around, he's ahead in the early game.
And there is a clip of Knight on our LPL Twitch channel of how damn fed he was against Rogue Warriors on this Syndra pick. Now we're going to get the opportunity to potentially see that again, and it was in this matchup as well. Deleting Ruby on his Azir, Knight looking to do the same against Doinby.
Now, I'm really curious to look at where the plate gold has gone, because FPX have taken more plates in total. They finished off that top lane tower, and LWX is going to get a couple down here as well. But it's important to mention that the top lane tower plates were shared around the team of FPX, whereas these 4 plates that have been taken in the bottom lane for Top were pretty much exclusively given over to JackeyLove.
Which is perfect for JackeyLove. He's even opting to go for this Infinity Edge build. This is a build that's a little bit more difficult sometimes to go for because it's just a more like a difficult build path. You have to go BF, it's a pickaxe, you require more gold than the long swords and call fields. It also means that he can go full crit, get the likes of the, well, get the Zeal items, 2 of them picked up in his back pocket, a Runins into a rapid fire cannon. He's got a lot more utility now because of that in his team fights, and it means that it can be a much more potent build for JackeyLove since he's had the capability of going for it.
Yeah, it gets more damage, but it's just a little bit later on into the game. But the way that these 2 teams are playing feels like that's the kind of build that's going to pay off right now. When you look at FPX's composition, they're not really going to be forcing the issue anytime soon, so it makes sense to go for a slower build.
Karsa now on this top side trying to support Knight. This is where they're going to start trying to gift some more gold over towards Knight, because when you're this big on the Syndra, there is the opportunity for you to one-shot people in FPX. So if you can get Knight snowballing even harder, that one-shot potential becomes so much higher.
See everyone grouping towards the top side here. Both junglers hanging around. Gimgoon is going to match Knight in the top lane and keep that tower safe. The rest of the team, though, moving up as Herald is about to spawn. Right now, it's FPX that have priority.
Jackie Love is only making his way over now. That's why Top are gifting over this vision to FPX. They're going to start it up straight off the bat once they realize that they are in control of the river.
It was LWX that won the tower plate race right there, 1,000 in favor of FPX. But we've got all 5 members from the side of Top. They won't give this one up without a fight. They lost the first one of the game. It was taken away from them. Now they want to get a little bit of revenge. Yu Yanjia steps on forward, but Tian gets the Herald for himself. Can anyone pick it up is the question. Yeah, Doinby gets to just walk on in. Top don't do anything about it.
369 keeps trying to go for Tian, and all this Tian does is repel. That's the 3rd time now I've seen that Call of the Forge Guard go towards him.
Now on into this mid lane, as we see. Top, they want to at least answer for something. They want to find anything for themselves, but they're going to come out empty-handed once again.
For the moment, they've moved over towards this dragon. They're getting the vision down, and this will put them on soul point for an Ocean Soul. And with Gimgoon pushing in his top lane, it's not really a big issue for them. He's backing away. He doesn't even have that Rift Herald to try and set things up. And with where the wave is right now, it might even create a nice little slow push back in favor of Top Esports towards that tier 1 in the top side.
Crisp channeling the recall here. And I think that might signal that maybe FPX are going to give this dragon up 5 seconds until that comes up. It would be the soul, though. I don't know if you can give it up.
They can't. That's why they're now moving in. So Gimgoon is here, and this is where maybe LWX can set up properly on the backside of this fight with a big bullet time.
Knight teleporting on in. The whole of Top is here. We saw this with the Herald. They didn't commit to the fight. This time they've got to make it happen. Call of the Forge God is on cooldown. Checking their flank. Strong play here from Top. But FPX are the ones with the positional advantage right now.
Flashes galore on FPX, so watch to see if they can avoid the Call of the Forge God. Crisp in the back line.
Crisp looking for a flank. Carcer wants to go for the dragon, but it's reset. Crisp has found the flank he wants, but he's been spotted. And Jackie Love, he has the damage to just kill a Rakan right now. Crisp forced away. That's a big cooldown on the grand entrance. Now on towards this Drake once again. It's taken by Top, but can they get the fight? 369 is low. Yu Yanjia going to be there to protect him. Now Gimgoon won't be able to find a way on in, and it's a reverse of the Herald fight.
And it's now 3 dragons for Top Esports, plus pressure on this mid lane turret. Rift Herald dropped on the bottom side to try and answer, but this is now going to be a push for push when it comes to these turrets.
Knight is moving down, though, to try and find LWX. Oh, Misfortune does not win this 1v1. Knight's not going to chase for it. He knows summoners are up, and he knows he needs to deal with the Herald first.
Doinby has managed to hold on to this mid lane turret as well, so not the trade that we expected, but you will eventually see that mid lane turret going down with maybe a little bit of help, but at the moment, Top Esports, they couldn't get that, so a tower for free for FPX.
Importantly, Top haven't got a single tower yet this game, and this is the same as game number 1. When it came to the early macro, when it came to swapping objectives, taking towers early, it was FPX that won out. That's twice in a row now that when it comes to the towers, they're the ones in charge. But last time, they didn't lose 3 Drakes for it.
The thing is, as well, it's 2 Rift Towers that have gone to FPX, 2 towers that are gone as a result, but the gold lead is almost dead even. And that is coming back to, well, Top being able to answer for some of these turret plates themselves, the CS advantage that we're seeing in the mid lane. Top are doing a good job in keeping this game even. And as you said, those dragons now are a serious thorn in the side of FPX because Doinby is not done scaling.
Doinby won't be done scaling for a long while just yet. You can see the FLICKR damage already starting to get real scary as he can pretty much just 2-shot the waves at this point when he's got the Infernum available. And let's take stock of where we're at in the game, because it's actually FPX that are heading gold right now, but it's only by a factor of 300. Still 3 minutes until that next Ocean Drake will spawn. That's almost a guaranteed fight, because it would be an Ocean Soul for the side of Top. But by the time that Drake is coming up, Baron will be available on the other side of the map. That is a potential option if FPX want to try and make a trade. Doinby stunned, but he will be able to keep himself safe from the Syndra of Night.
He can play far back as this Azir and clear the waves, but once that teleport for Knight is up and available, they can again start to use this map pressure. Oh, Jackie Love!
His recall is going to be denied. Crisp going to use the quickness. Early flash, and it pays off from Jackie Love.
It doesn't really, though, because it's a flash you didn't have to burn as Jackie Love. A lazy back gives the opportunity there for FPX, and Crisp very quickly decides to take that.
I mean, it paid off in that he lived. I'm not saying that it was good that he needed to flash. I'm just saying he managed to get out of there. FPX, I like that they're still making plays though. I like that they're looking for ways to punish the side of top, because as you rightly say, Jackie Love overextends, goes for a greedy recall, and Crisp is more than happy to punish that.
We can see how FPX, though, are struggling to set up for these fights when it comes to the objectives. You don't really have someone that can tank the likes of the Call of the Forge God or some of these Scatter the Weeks coming through from Knight, especially when, as Gimgoon in this Renekton, you want to look for flanks, but who's the tanky member who can try and set up for FPX? There's not really a member there. When TN is already falling behind, the Cocoons haven't been landing, and 369 is starting to get really tanky with both magic-resistant armor. Top, when these objective fights come up, can look to sweep FPX or just take the objective like this Dragon that's coming up in a minute 30.
And you know, Top, even though they do have a lot of pressure in this early game, they're quite happy to play a slow game as well. They've still got an Aphelios, they've got an Ornn, that the items, the value that comes out from those upgrades will be very significant. When we look at the gold, it is slightly in favor of FPX here, but it's only just when you look at the 280 carries, or when you look at LWX and Knight, they're basically next to each other. Doomb and Jackie Love basically next to each other. So while there is a slight lead there, it's relatively insignificant in the context of the game right now. But this ain't insignificant. FPX, you sneaky devils, are going to go with the Azir into the Baron pit.
Look at the question mark pings, though. They've read this. Top Esports have a feeling that this is going down. No blue trinket available.
They need to have more than a feeling right now, because this is going down quick, and I don't think that they're going to be able to answer in time. 2,000 on this. It's going to be spotted, but it's too little, too late. Tian grabs himself the Baron, and FPX, they get away with it again.
Now they've got the Baron enhanced recalls, and they can get back out on the map to try and fight for this Ocean Soul. That was a beautiful call from FPX.
This is the kind of macro play that we were talking about. They get away with sneaking that Baron out, and the Colonel's changed his mind. He's looking towards FPX now off the back of that play.
Now we've got to look at this Ocean Drake, though. FPX pushing out. You have Gimgoon pushing in this bottom lane. Top trying to pull a sneaky play of their own and see if they can catch someone out.
Karsa barely dodges the Cocoon there. That would have certainly been death with the rest of FPX around.
Gimgoon's in a great position here. Direct access onto Jackie Love. FPX can try and pounce here with Crisp.
FPX are looking good in this position. This would be Dragon Soul, don't forget. And an Ocean Soul is going to be a game changer for sure for Top, if they can get this Dragon. But so far, it's been Tian in control.
The dueling pistols are out for Jackie Love, though. He can fight 1v1 against Gimgoon.
Here we go. Crisp going to knock up, and he's going to deny the ultimate. But, I mean, he sacrificed his own life for that. I don't think that's worth it. Now onto the Dragon. Smite comes through, but it's going to be LWX that grabs it. Now the fight comes through, but LWX denied his bullet time as well. They got the Dragon, and that's all they care about.
And they still have a minute 40 on this Baron. They can look to try and open up this mid lane turret. That's exactly what they're going to do. So FPX here, that's again, Smite's not quite being able to come through from Karsa, and TN and LWX stealing these objectives away.
Karsa and Tian both in there, and somehow LWX is the one to get the last hit on the Dragon. Little bit questionable from both sides. Let's take a look in slow-mo.
So Crisp saves the fight here, because if that Call of the Forge God had gone across everyone, that would have been a disaster, because then you've got the Knight who can flash forward aggressively, get the stun onto LWX and everyone else, and that could have been the moment Top win this series. FPX, though, managed to just about hold on. They stopped that Ocean Soul from going over, but they've got to do it another time and another time, because FPX have only got a single Dragon for themselves, and that Baron won't always be capable of being snuck away.
Look at the build from Knight right now. Pure damage with a Spellbinder coming on through here. He's looking to one-shot people, and I think he's got his eyes on LWX this game. We'll see if he's going to be able to, because so far, FPX's positioning's been good.
It's also amazing for being able to kite around these fights, because you get the movement speed from Phase Rush, movement speed from Spellbinder, and when Gimgoon, we talked about these flanks, or even trying to avoid Crisp coming in with the quickness. These extra little bit of moments where you can move back could be the changer where Knight is able to escape versus he's being locked down.
Well, it's only tier 1s around the map that have been taken so far in this game, and Top decide they want to even that one up as they move towards this top tier 1 tower. Knight will be here, and he can very quickly get through that now that the armor plating is gone. The question will be, what can FPX do about it elsewhere on the map while Top's up here?
Well, don't forget, Knight has the teleport, so he can still answer for the plays that they try to make. Again, Jackie Love on point with figuring out where FPX are going to be.
FPX on the forefront here as they step forward on towards the tower. Crisp has been found again, knocked up by the Brittle, but gets over to the likes of Gimgoon. This time, Call of the Forge God comes through, knock up onto 2. They back away. Scout of the Week doesn't climb.
They don't manage to hold. Oh, they do manage to hold onto the tower, I think just about in mid lane.
Yep.
So that was a good call from Top Esports. You get the teleport from Knight to hold onto that turret. And once again, we're starting to see them creep forward here, try and get some vision back in their favor towards this Baron. Because now as Top, you can play keep away with both the Ocean Dragon and the Baron. And FPX will be forced to try and deal with both of these objectives.
And I love how tense this is between these two teams. Top managing to win game number 1 is already a change from the status quo. FPX are the world champions. They've looked fantastic so far this split. Most of their games, they've been kind of messing around, it feels like, especially in the most recent series. But here against Top, with Jackie Love in the roster, this is a transformed team. Just remember that while they were playing with Photic, Top had a lot of issues with communication and coordination, and it feels like the majority of those issues have been solved.
And now we're starting to see the individual players stand up on this team. Knight, the best mid laner in the world who never went to Worlds, showing up again on this Syndra. Now got that Void Staff completed, now working on trying to beat down FPX at every opportunity that he gets. And that next opportunity will be in just over a minute, as we said, with both of these objectives spotted.
1 minute 15 on this Ocean Drake, and once again, the Ocean Soul would be the game changer. But it's worth bringing up with FPX getting the most recent one. If they could get 4 Ocean Drakes and then a Soul, that would be a game-winning combination right there. The regen would just be indomitable during the fights. But they've still got a long way to go if that's their win condition right now.
Dumby's picked up a Banshee's Veil, which is going to be massive for trying to dissuade Knight. If you're not getting hit by the Scout of the Week or even that initial Call of the Forge God, maybe you have the opportunity to escape and be this late game Azir. It does delay a slight bit the rest of your build though, but have a look at this Dragon now. Gimgoon already in a position alongside the rest of Top Esports.
And this has been the story so far of FPX consistently being the first ones onto the play, first ones at the objective. Top threatening the tier 2 in the mid lane, but Dumby is there to clear away the minions. Now they move on in towards this Dragon themselves. Crisp taking a bit of damage. Call of the Forge God. Knock up only onto 1. Tian having to use a stopwatch very early on. Knock up dodged away from. Wasn't in Spider form, couldn't repel there. Important flash used.
Moonlight Vigil down, Glacial Fissure as well, so now FPX could find the engage with Crisp on the flank.
You got to keep your eyes on Knight though. He has so much damage. That ultimate from Syndra will annihilate one target if he can find it. That's going to be the key moment right here. Dragon down to 3,000. Who's going to be able to get it on this one? The smite comes through. Soul now for Top and blocked on everything from the side of Yuyanjia. Now onto the fight. Jackie Love is going absolutely mental as he burns through the health bars. LWX trying to turn it around, but Jackie Love says no. Knockup comes through for 369. Another one for Jackie Love. 2 for Knight. And a fight for Top.
And only Yuanjia went down. They can turn towards the Baron. The Ocean Soul is going to keep them nicely topped up. Top Esports 9-1 might be about to drop FPX.
And Yuyanjia goes down in the fight, but his Unbreakable saves the play. He blocked so much damage from Doinby, from LWX, and he set Top up for success.
Not a single 2-0 in the Spring Split has been a loss for FPX. And now Top Esports, on the last day of our Spring Split regular season, are looking to hand FPX that. This is an insane performance from Top, and a great job here in playing around this team fight. They know that Crisp is there. He was already spotted on these tremor senses from the Rek'Sai, and Jackie Love, with precise positioning, takes on every contender, and FPX find themselves at a loss.
And this is the chaos that FPX usually revel in, but it's Top that come out on top. Doomby, it looked like a great Emperor's Divide, but it's just not enough. The damage wasn't there. And now all of that control that FPX have slowly built up for themselves has fallen apart.
Now we got to see how Top Esports are going to try and use this Baron. FPX have pushed in bot, they're about to push in top wave, so there's a bit of cleanup duty to be done on Top Esports first, but when you've got these two teleports on Knight and 369, it's a lot easier to do that. Crisp doesn't have his flash, so can't go for these crazy invades while the house cleaning is being done by Top. Now, moving in for Top into the jungle, getting this vision down, trying to clear out anything that remains for FPX.
FPX will still have a foot in this game, though. They're certainly not out of the running. When you look at the gold, it's only 4,000 difference at 30 minutes here. Top very much in control. The question will be, how can they use this Baron?
Doimby needs to be very careful. He does not know if it's just 369 and Yuanjia here.
And it's not, because JackeyLove's here as well. He's got his Banshee's Veil, so he'll be relatively safe and can clear away these minions, stopping the siege in the mid lane. But in the meantime, Karsa and Knight, this duo that hasn't been a duo for the whole split, working together finally.
And now they're putting pressure onto the inhibitor turrets of FPX. 30 minutes into this game and Top find themselves at a 6,000 gold lead.
Oh, FPX want to fight though. They're trying to find a pick. They're not going to find it. And in the meantime, JackeyLove gets onto the tower in the mid lane. Tier 2s galore falling as Top accelerate this lead. Doomby takes a huge amount of damage. 3 items for JackeyLove, 3 crit items.
The poke from JackeyLove with this Calibrum and from Knight in this top lane and Zinger are so potent. They're looking for the engage though.
Gimgoon trying to find his way on in. Takes a lot of damage from Knight, who goes golden, trying to keep himself alive, but he will fall now. JackeyLove's into the fray though, and the damage is unreal. Gets onto the back line of Doomby, and he will be able to find another one. The kill goes the way of Karsa. Now into the base. Tian desperately scuttling his way to safety. Gets the cocoon and will be able to return to the fountain, but with the Baron buff still for 15 seconds, maybe Top can just force the issue here. They don't have the minion wave just yet. It's on its way. JackeyLove has a lot of damage.
It's only Crisp and Tian. They can't hold on to the base.
Knock him onto Crisp. He's onto the fountain. Tian so low, and JackeyLove is just annihilating his health bar. The fountain can't save you now, or maybe it can, but the Nexus will fall regardless. And Top Esports deliver FPX their first 2-0 loss of the split and go into playoffs strong.